Hello, everyone. You're welcome to today's live broadcast. If you're just joining me from anywhere across the world, I want you to leave a comment in the comment section below. Because what I'm going to be telling you today is going to change your life. It's going to be change your fundraising drive. It's going to change how you run your non-profit, and it's going to change how you approach business. Entirely. So today I want to walk you through the first step process to raise money consistently for any organization. Even if you've never raised money before, if you've tried raising money but no longer been able to raise money, if you're facing challenges with currently raising money, this first step is going to basically, turn your fundraising drive around and help you begin to raise money consistently for your non-profit organization, for your non-governmental organization, and for your not-for-profit organization. So the very first step in this first step process is strategic planning. Why strategic planning? One, strategic planning helps you define the future of your organization. So as we've seen, a lot of people don't even know where the organization is going to. So how do you want a donor to get in or to join you? Nobody wants to go enter a trend going nowhere. Two, it helps you develop a fundraising goal because it's only through strategic planning you can be able to develop a full, a budget, right? And once you have your budget, you now have your fundraising goal. It means you can now begin to drive. It means you now know how much you're trying to raise. That particular knowledge is very important in the process because how you raise $10 million is not how you're going to raise $100 million. So if you don't know you need $100 million, you may go about implementing a $10 million strategy and not being able to reach your goal. So budgeting is also very important. Another aspect of program development that's also very important is program development. What I've seen is a lot of non-profits, their programs are not well or properly developed. They just have this different ideas about the program they want to implement that they are basically implementing on. But what program development does for you is clearly spells out your programs so that you begin to see areas of opportunity, or I call them leverage points. So if you've gone through program development, there's a kind of packaging your program takes that now gives you an advantage in the marketplace. So for example, when we did program development for a client, we're able to help the client understand that rather than doing everything themselves, they could actually get partners that could help them do some of the tasks they do during their programs. Another benefit we got from program development was we're able to help clients identify leverage points that funders will be interested in within their program when doing program development. This way, we now have a better offer that we can now sell to donors and sponsors so that they can support the organization. Program development provides lots of advantages. It include time management because by the time you begin to really define the program, you now see how to achieve same program in a shorter time frame, even with less effort. So program development is also very important, and it's one reason why you must take strategic planning important. Then, lastly, is the fundraising planning in itself. A lot of we have non-profits going about fundraising without even having a plan. It's like a general going into the war front without even knowing what they are going to be doing there. And like they say, without a plan, you're definitely going to fail because you're going to be implementing blindly. So if strategic planning also provides you the opportunity to create a fundraising plan, right, that you can now go ahead to begin to implement on. So that's where strategic planning comes in, and that's what makes it the very first step. So the second step is where you now proceed to develop the resources you need for your fundraising campaign. So the second step is where you develop the resources you need for your fundraising campaign. Now, let's say during strategic plan, we identified that the fundraising strategy you're going to be implementing on is corporate sponsorship, right? Now, this second step is where you now develop the resources that's necessary to help you implement on that corporate sponsorship strategy. So some of the resources we've been able to identify over the years is, a donor deck, which is like a pitch deck, a sponsorship agreement, right? Your strategic plan, right? A landing page on your website, your marketing messages, your marketing materials. These are just some of the resources you're going to need to implement that strategy. So the second step is you developing these resources and branding them accordingly, well branded, so that whenever people see these resources, they know it belongs to your organization, right? So that's like the second step. Then the third step is now where you now launch your fundraising campaign. So the launching of the fundraising campaign is where you now begin to put out your, these different resources you've created out there, so that people can begin to, support your organization. So we have a two phase to this. The first phase is where we, you know, launch out what we call it the soft launch. This is really targeted at your immediate audience you're already connected to. It's usually targeted within the circle you're already in, within the community you operate in, within the social media space you operate in. Because we want to first of all tap into your network before going into the wider network. Why we do this is to help us, one, text the strategy, two, collect feedbacks that we can modify, right? Because they say it's better to make a mistake at the little level rather than making mistake at the bigger level, right? So soft launch is the opportunity to test, make mistakes, modify, and improve your campaign before now going into the full-blown launch, where we now put it out there to as many people as possible. The full-blown launch is usually aided with different paid advert opportunities. So we can run Facebook paid adverts, you can run LinkedIn paid adverts. Depending, for example, if you're looking at corporate sponsors, right, you can run LinkedIn paid adverts. So for corporate sponsors, the soft launch could be you reaching out to executives of, say, 20 companies that align with your own, with your organization's mission, right, and with the value you provide. Then the full-blown launch could now be you running a paid advert on LinkedIn, targeting that particular industry. So let's say, for example, the companies you mentioned are like 20 companies within the children product industry. You can go on LinkedIn, do a paid advert of, say, $500, targeting um at least 50,000 CEOs of, or 50,000 executives of companies that provide child products. You see how from soft launch you go full blown. So that's like the third step before you now go on to the fourth and final step, which is automating your campaign. So the goal is to get to where you are able to automate this whole process, because you don't want to be going in tons every day, go on LinkedIn, search for people. That's like you going in tons every day. Automating the process is you putting a system in place that can help you run this process even without you being there. And that's one of the opportunities technology have provided us with today. So to automate such a process, right? Let's say, for example, corporate sponsorship, you can have an automated process, one that runs ad, right? Targeting these people. And once they approve the ad, they get another automated message that sends them, a request to meet, right? So that they can come on live with you, and then you can now present your offer and, ask for their support. So you can automate this process so that LinkedIn is running consistently for you. And then all you have to do is show up for these meetings, look at your calendar, show up for these meetings, and then you're creating results consistently. That's how you raise money consistently, because you now have a process in place that runs for you consistently and steadily. And then your organizations can now begin to see an entirely new twist. So I hope you've been able to learn something today. I've been thinking of coming on here. Sorry I had to come on this late, but um, I'm sure when you guys come back on, you're going to find this, and it's really going to help you and change your fundraising and your work entirely. I look forward to helping you. Please reach out if there's any way I can help you. I'm always available. All the best. Bye bye.